So what we're looking at right now is solving equations with variables on both sides. We've seen some of these, but I did just want to give you guys another example. This time I've included a step-by-step kind of procedure for this because I know that that helps some of us out there. So I've got step one is where we're going to start, and that is to distribute. Okay, and that's if needed. So in this case, we look over here. In our equation, we do have parentheses here. We have to get rid of them. We cannot do anything else until we've gotten rid of these parentheses. So yes, we do need to distribute in this case. So let me go ahead and draw my line. Remember, we need two sides to this equation. So I'm going to go ahead and split it at my equal sign. Okay, so now I can start with step one, which is to distribute if it's needed, and in this case it is. So I'll distribute this negative 4 to a positive 2x. Negative 4 times a positive 2x would give me a negative 8x. Don't forget your x. My next step, so negative 4, I've got to distribute that to a 9. Negative 4 times a positive 9 is going to give me a negative 36. This 3x is not inside those parentheses, so I'm just going to bring down this plus 3x. Okay, so now I can bring down the other side of my equation. I haven't done anything to it yet, so it's going to stay the same. So bring down my negative 4x plus my 18. Okay. So I have done step one. I've distributed if needed. In this case, it was needed. My next thing, step two, simplify each side of the equation. Let me go ahead and switch to my blue. So I'm going to simplify each side of this equation. What I mean by that is to look on each side of the equation and ask yourself, are there terms that I can combine? Okay, so if you look on this side, we've got negative 8x minus 36 plus 3x. There are two terms that are friends. Okay, so we've got this negative 8x and this positive 3x. We can simplify those. We can combine those terms because they're friends. Negative 8x's minus 36 plus 3x. We can combine the negative 8 plus the 3x. Negative 8 plus 3x's is going to give me negative 5x's. So I combined my negative 8x plus my 3x, so now I just need to bring down my negative 36. Again, we haven't done anything to this side of the equation, so it's going to come down exactly as it is. So my negative 4x plus my 18 will come down on this side. There we go. So I have distributed, I have simplified each side of the equation, so I've got negative 5x minus 36 equals negative 4x plus 18. My next step, step 3, it's going to be to move all variable terms to one side. Okay, so we're going to move all the variable terms. So in this case, we're working with x. We're going to move them to one side. I'm going to move all of mine to the left side. I like my x terms on the left side, so that's what I'm going to do. That means this negative 4x, I need to move it over here. It's a negative 4x. In order to move a negative term over, you guys know we have to do the opposite, so I'm going to add it. Okay? The only way to get rid of a negative number is to add it. So I'll come over here. So 4x, you know, it's friends with the negative 5x. It's not friends with the 36, so we're going to line it up with its friend. So plus 4x. Okay, I'm moving my x term over here. This will cancel. Remember, we're moving it over here. Negative 5x's plus 4x's is negative x's. I'll bring down my minus 36 equals, I got rid of my x term, so I'm just going to bring down my 18. Okay, so now I've got negative x minus 36 equals 18. I'm almost done. My last step is to solve the remaining two-step equation. Now we've got the easy part. We've done the hard stuff. Now we just need to solve this equation. We've got negative x minus 36 equals 18. I need to move this minus 36 over. Okay, so I need to get the plain numbers over here. In order to do that, we know we've got to do the opposite, so I'm going to have to add it to both sides. Okay, so I've added my 36 to each side. Negative 36 or minus 36 plus 36 cancels. That's why I did that. I'll bring down my negative x, okay, equals 18 plus 36 is a total of 54. So now I've got negative x equals 54. You have to get rid of this negative, okay? So I'm going to put a 1 here. You have to get rid of this negative. This negative 1 is being multiplied by the x, so you've got to get rid of this negative 1 by doing the opposite. Negative 1 is being multiplied by x, so in order to undo that, do the opposite of multiplication, and that's to divide. So we're going to divide each side of my equation by negative 1. That way we can cancel these out. X is finally by itself 54 divided by negative 1. A positive 54 divided by a negative 1. My final answer is going to be negative 54. Okay, so my final answer, my x is equal to negative 54. Okay, so our steps, I'll go through them one more time. Distribute, which I did. If you have parentheses, you have to distribute. So distribute if you need to. Simplify. Remember, ask yourself, are there any friends on the same side? In this case, there were, so I simplified that side. My next step was to move all my variable terms to one side. Okay, get all your friends on the same side, all your x terms, all your variable terms. Last step is to solve your two-step equation.